Today I'm going to talk for a while about prompt engineering. I hope that I will not be boring, because this topic might be boring, especially if we will go through the crazy techniques or some techniques that have no proof of working. So whenever you have any question, guys, please ask the question. I will try to answer, or if I will not the question, then let's discuss it later after my presentation or during the break. So maybe some background about me and my journey to this point. So when all of us started to think about generative AI and ChatGPT and GPT model, I was also the guy who was interested to jump on the train. And I remember the moment when I was observing the situation that people that I'm managing as an AI project manager are observing and thinking about generative AI like something that will change everything, or will change nothing, or is stupid technology, etc. And I would say, yeah? Do you have a question?
I was just calling my friend.
Okay. That's good. Some of the people decided that they will never use, for example, Copilot. And year after, I remember one of my colleagues said exactly a few months ago that maybe next year I will try to use Copilot. So it means that something changed. A lot of us decided that this kind of solution might be interesting for our business, especially if we are in IT. There also was a group of people that, like me, decided that this technology might be interesting, but we need to learn more how to use it, how to harness the power of generative AI for our business. And it was obvious that this type of change in the view of technologies that we will use next years will change everything, especially in our area of AI projects. It was obvious, and nobody is today doubt about this topic. So that's my background for the story. I'm going to give you next slide about my company background. 2 months ago, I decided with my colleague Chris Prusik to start a company that will be some connection of our previous projects or companies. We decided that so far we were interested in automation. Maybe some of you know what does it mean, robotic process automation, RPA. I hope that there are some people who knows RPA, who was doing this. 1 person, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So we decided that this situation now seems quite interesting. So far we were doing automates or software robots using RPA, and it was quite interesting. The boom for this RPA things was and disappeared. And today we have generative AI, and in my opinion, everything has changed. We decided that we will build something that we would call a software as a service platform for AI robots deployment. And this presentation is some discussion about the challenges that such companies like mine is facing during this journey. As you can see here, we have some examples of quite poor results of deploying AI robots on the market. These 2 examples here, this one, I'm not going to show what was the company that is the author of this bot. The second one is obvious because here is DPD. So these are examples of wrong approach to deployment of AI robots, because it gives too much power to the user and it will finally result in the situation that you have system that is almost stupid, or directly it is stupid. And your customer will sooner or later share the screenshot from your solution to the internet, to the other people. So it was the situation that we were interested in avoiding. Yeah? We are not interested in doing this kind of robots. Before I will continue, I would like to define a few terms that I would like to talk about. And if you have questions or you don't understand anything that is on this list, please give me information. I will try to explain it better. First, from my point of view, prompt, especially if we are talking about large language models, is a piece of text that will trigger this model to continue the text. Nothing more, nothing special. But the magic, of course, there is. Second thing, prompt engineering. I will talk about this thing on the next slide. What are good prompts? Maybe someone of you would like to answer this question. What does it mean to have a good prompt? Is anybody here? There is a person.
I think a good prompt should provide a specific information and instructions what we would like to achieve using LLM. And usually it also should have some context or some information that help LLM to provide us a good answer.
Okay. Are you okay with the answer? I'm okay. I like this answer. It's too detailed, but it's okay. All right. In my opinion, good prompt is something that will result in a useful response. That's all. You never know what is the good answer if you don't know what are the requirements coming from the business, from your customer. So it's very wide definition. What are bad prompts? Bad prompts are prompts that we think that they will provide good answer, but the answer is poor in quality in terms of it's a messy explanation or messy answer, or it's an answer that has some kind of misleading information. And that's actually is something that we call hallucinations. Or all the answers that you have from LLM model that are somehow pretending that they are correct, but they are not correct. Actually, they are hallucinations, even if they are built from the data that the model was trained on. We assume that this kind of answer will be something like hallucination. Actually, we don't know what is the hallucination and what is the true, what comes from the real data, what comes from the giving yet another next word from the response. Prompt jailbreaking, it's something, I'm not a specialist in security, so I'm not going to give you a perfect definition. However, if you have a prompt and you want to LLM model to give you the response, and you have some bad guy who wants to destroy your system, then he probably will be working on creating a prompt that will somehow make your solution based on LLM model give you an answer or do an action that is not interesting for your customer. That might be a definition of jailbreaking for purpose of this presentation. One question, is everything clear? Am I well? All right, thank you. Good. Prompt engineering. Why I decided to give this slide for this presentation. I know, guys, you are quite experienced people. I'm not going to teach you foundations. It's not this type of presentation. One thing that I observed when I was, I would say, studying prompt engineering last month was that there is millions of stupid prompts and people that pretend that they are teaching others prompt engineering. And I decided that I need to define this kind of engineering because Otherwise, we will start to do LLM-powered solutions using prompt engineering, and everyone is thinking about prompt engineering like silly tricks to make you $1 million prompt that will make you billionaire in one day just because you used appropriate prompt. It's crazy, stupid, and not this way. So for me, prompt engineering is a connection of two things. One thing is collecting all information and evaluations of the prompts that for the given task will provide you right answer or useful answer. Additionally, I'm interested in the security and safety of the prompts, and later I will show you that we were studying the situation how to prevent our solution that is LLM-based from being hacked by using stupid or wrong or bad prompts. Another part of prompt engineering or engineering in this form is this part that is related with research and looking for other methods. And that's all. That's the prompt engineering, nothing else. It might seem too simple, but it is simple so. There's nothing more beyond those two things. So I think that if you are asking or thinking, doesn't make sense to have a prompt engineer in my company or in my business, the answer is maybe not so clear, because I will not give you the answer. Do you need a prompt engineer or do you need to hire a prompt engineer? However, I think that every team that is going to use LLM as a part of their solution should know at least some basics about prompt engineering.
How do you find basics exactly?
How am I defining basics?
Yeah, basic knowledge, because we are not very basic.
Yeah. I think that this presentation is about basics, I would say. That's my journey through the.
Really. I have experience with the people from big corporations, and this will be very hard to comprehend for them. For most people.
Will be what?
Most, it will be hard to comprehend, understand.
All right. Okay. That's good. Let me continue, and then I will try to answer your question, maybe during the break. All right. So the challenges that we were facing was how to eliminate hallucinations, how to prevent from jailbreaking or prompt ejection attacks, etc. And the most interesting part for our type of company was how we will create a chatbot or LLM-based solution that will be something that is responsible only for one task and will never go out of this scope. So in other words, if you will ask the bot to give a joke about DPD or other company, he will answer you, I'm sorry, I'm not going to talk on this topic because my goal is to do that or another action. And my question to study this topic, and maybe this is the answer for your question, was how far I can go with prompt engineering to achieve or to face all of those challenges. And this is the area I would like to continue this presentation to you. All right. I'm not going to be boring, as I said. So all the techniques that are available to you, I prepared as a Airtable. I collected 28 that are worth of attention. And I decided that remaining 30, because there was something about 60 techniques, remaining 30 is a waste of time. So this list is only a list of techniques that have scientific proofs, that have results that are meaningful. Sometimes the technique is very simple. Sometimes the technique is very theoretical. and realization or implementation is quite useful. However, it doesn't mean that it's simple to implement in your solution. So, in other words, I'm not going to go through every prompt engineering technique. I gave it you as a takeaway from this presentation. You can study it by yourself by reading the papers. I was reading them last few weeks just to prepare for this presentation well. And I observed a few things that might be interesting for you. I'm not, I don't know what are your projects, but in my projects I was asked by my potential customer, I was looking for techniques that will solve the problems that this customer was facing in his business. Okay, let me play some game with you. It will be very simple, just few myths or facts. One thing, GPT has changed a lot, making most prompt engineering techniques useless. Is that true? Is that myth or fact? There was myth. Myth. You think it's a myth, all right? Good answer, but it's not so easy. Why? If you will take, for example, chain of thought prompt engineering technique, this technique is very useful. It has results. It has a lot of scientific proofs and practical proofs that it is working. However, if you compare, for example, GPT, maybe that's the best LLM model at the moment on the market, you will see that you no longer need to add this explain step by step to your question, because probably almost always it will add it by default. So this technique is of course important for us because we need to understand how it is incorporated to the solution that we are using if we are using OpenAI GPT model, but it doesn't mean that we need to use this technique directly. The other story is if we are going to use other LLM models and there is no such solution incorporated by default to this solution, to this model. So that's the reason why the answer is not so easy, because the techniques are of course somehow useless because they are already embedded in the solution that we are using, but it doesn't mean that we need to forget these techniques. Sooner or later, we will find a case when the model didn't understand what happened and is trying to give you direct answer without reasoning. And then it is better to add this explain by step, for example. Another myth or fact. Using appropriate prompts, AI hallucinations can be avoided. Myth or fact?
Not so easy.
You get me. Applause for him. Yeah, that's the hero of today. What's your name?
Glib.
What?
Glib.
All right. I cannot repeat, but maybe later. I will learn. I promise. Okay, the answer is not so easy. Actually, there is no prompt engineering technique that will guarantee you 100% sure that there will be no hallucination. If you will think for a while about large language models, this hallucinating is the heart of this concept. Whatever type of string you will provide as a prompt, the goal is to continue this text. Even if you don't know the answer, LLM will try to find the answer. Sometimes we'll try to find fake answer, but still true. Sometimes it might be hallucinated, untrue answer. Happily, last version of GPT started to answer, I don't know, sorry, I have no enough facts. I have no enough information to give you good answer. And if you will try to, for example, write something like, strawberries are the best keys in the keyboard for advanced developer, then ChatGPT will answer you. It seems that it's something that I don't know. Could you explain me more about strawberry keyboard or strawberry keys? Anyway, there is a solution for hallucination, for avoiding this situation, and here is
Some
the,
guardrails.
what?
Some guardrails you do here.
Yes, yes, it's based somehow on guide rails. However, the idea, I would say, is more generic. And I will show it on the next slides, because this approach, when you are harnessing another LLM model to evaluate the answer, to evaluate how probably the answer is a hallucination, this solution might be good hint how to deal with all of the problems that we have with LLM-powered solutions. Another question, is it possible to create a prompt that is jailbreak or prompt injection safe? All right, nothing new. One interesting approach to this type of, let's say, attack or disadvantage of LLM-powered solution is Geiger run or Geiger. I don't know how to pronounce it in English. I'm not a native speaker. And Geiger is something that will analyze the prompt before it will be sent to LLM, just to identify something that might be wrong with the prompt. Okay. And anyway, as you can see, they are very honest and they are not promising anything. The strategy that they are giving us is, if you don't have anything to verify the incoming question, it would be better to have anything to analyze it. That's the best strategy. The better you are with analyzing incoming prompt, the better chances are that you will identify some prompt injection or jailbreak attempt in the prompt text. Okay, so how to deal with all of those problems? We observed, as I said, as you observed as well, that there is a kind of pattern. Then this pattern might be applied in all LLM solutions, because whenever you try to resolve serious problems using prompt engineering, you will land with no solution. You will land with a solution that is very weak in terms of being, prompt injection or jailbreaking or hallucination safe. So we started to think about architecture of LLM solutions or LLM-powered solutions in two ways. One is direct chat, another is, I called it integrated solution. It's a type that somehow is a wrapper around LLMs and give you more control over the conversation or over the using LLM. And it seems that those integrated solutions might be something that we should go through if we want to continue our project in terms of building focus AI robots that are responsible for the given tasks and are not doing anything else, only the thing that we are expecting them to do. Here, this table shows you something very simple, but I think it might be useful because there are, in the table I provided earlier, there are some techniques that are very simple, and you can use them, as I said, quick and easy. It means, for example, direct stimulus technique is a technique that you are giving the question and you are attaching few keywords that you expect to be used in the response. And this direct stimulus technique is quite useful if you have no time and you want just to ask a question. Yes?
You have fact-checking and the recommendation do not do this. Why? You elaborate more
Yeah.
about
Yeah, I was expecting that someone will ask why. About fact-checking and using LLMs, there are better solutions for this kind of activity. Fact-checking is part of journalism, art or craft. And fact-checking means that you cannot go with automated approach to this problem. You need to study it carefully, because even people that know almost everything are very, very weak in identification of fake information. So I hope so that one day we will find a solution that will be, fake news detector, and it will be based on LLM solution. However, for today, that's something like, cleaning floor or repairing cars. It must be done by people. That's the answer. Are you okay with my answer?
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Right. As you can see, here I'm showing some kind of symbol, a code for representing some mechanism, because I think that whenever you think about LLM solution, and it will be or it must be a reliable thing, a thing that will work for example, for a bank. It must be something that will be controlled by you. It must be something that you will trust. You will, or your customer will say, all right, this kind of chat I can deploy on my website. I'm not afraid that this kind of chat will answer stupid questions or give stupid answers to right questions. And as you can see, LLM solutions type 2, I mean those integrated type of solutions. I see that when I was studying the list of prompt engineering techniques, I found that there is one pattern that is repeating every time when you are trying to build something that is very safe in terms of being task-focused AI robot. I call it LLM to LLM. This mechanism is very simple, as the name suggests. It's something that you are trying to harness one or various LLM models in order to verify the answer, find the appropriate or the best one, and then validate if it's possible to go forward with this type of interaction. Of course, it will not guarantee anything. However, in our solution, HAL Guru, we decided to build with Chris Prusik. We found that just by inserting some kind of, let's say, penalty level parameter to the prompt and going with the prompt, with the response, with the context through the LLMs, through the different sessions with conversation, we can observe that the 2 or 3 LLMs accept the conversation as something that seems like something that we can continue, or we should stop this conversation, change the prompt, and, for example, go with the conversation with our customer to the end of the conversation in terms of, for example, I see that you are trying to talking about jokes and not important things with me. So I invite you to visit my website. That's all. Thank you. Goodbye. And this kind of solution is much better because it works like, like receptionist. Receptionist in every company is a person who, if you will go there and ask for something, the person will answer you, okay, I can write down your number, your name, I can schedule you a meeting, but I have no time to talk to about, stupid things. It's not my role. And the same behavior we expect from the robots or AI robots. All right. It took 30 minutes, or 29 to be precise. I have a riddle for you guys, and I'm not going to answer the riddle. That will be something for you. Do you have any question to me? Do you want to ask anything before I will show you the riddle? Yes?
Yeah, so actually a few LLMs were, I think a few LLMs were listed there. Is the solution you're talking about, do I understand correctly that you filter the input, you ask a few different LLMs whether this is a valid query, and then only then pass them to the main LLM?
You mean a situation when we have a question and I send the question to, for example, 3 different LLMs, for example, Claude, GPT, and some other, and I have 3 answers, I compare them, and I select the best one?
No, I'm making sure if I understood this correctly, that if you have, in this type 2 solution, do you send the query to different LLMs, check with them if they think whether this is an attack or something, waste of time of our main LLM, and then I'm not sure if I understand it correctly.
Yeah, the story that you described seems like you understand the concept,
Okay.
so I can answer yes. However, if you want to understand the details, I might, I may explain it to you after the presentation during the break. However, that's the concept.
Okay, cool, thanks.
All right, the riddle is very simple. If you get a stupid response from ChatGPT, whose fault it is?
Stupid AI.
All right, thank you.